Psalm 103:13. As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. Now in this verse, the psalmist is describing God as a father who is having compassion on his children, because any good father would have compassion on his children. Any good father would feel compassion for their child when they experience suffering, when they get hurt, when someone insults them, when they feel like they failed, when they didn't do as good as they wanted, when they didn't get the thing that they wanted. And not every father is like that. There are many imperfect fathers. As a matter of fact, every single father on this earth is imperfect because every single human being is imperfect. But there are many fathers who are more imperfect than others. There are some fathers who have done such a job that their children cannot even remember a single time that their father has shown compassion to them. And that is a terrible thing, because everyone deserves to have a feeling of being loved by a father figure. Everyone deserves to have that. But not everyone gets that. Not everyone has been given that privilege. However, we can trust that even though earthly fathers are imperfect, God is not imperfect. God is the perfect example of what a father should be like. Jesus uses the example in, I forget which passage it is, but it's one of the Gospels. And he says, if your son asks you for an egg, which of you will give him a stone? Or if he asks you for a fish, which of you will give him a serpent? I might have gotten the two switched around, but you know what I mean. And it's unfortunate to say that some fathers would even refuse to give their child food. There have been fathers in the past, and I'm sure that there will be fathers in the future who are that abusive and who are that terrible. So if you have a good father today, if you have a father who cares about you, if you have a father who's shown you love and support and taken care of whatever you need throughout your life, I would encourage you, just take a moment and appreciate that. Appreciate the fact that you get to have a father who cares, a father who wants to see you prosper and to succeed, a father who takes care of you and who wants to bless your life, who wants you to be able to have a good future, who wants you to be able to not have to live a miserable life, but wants to take care of you and raise you up right. And if you have a bad father, or if you had a bad father, I want you to recognize that your pain is not invalid. Your pain is very valid. It is a terrible day for a lot of people on Father's Day because their first thought is of a father who is a terrible example, who is abusive or neglectful or hateful. But when you think of God as a father, never think of God as the kind of father that is plagued with the imperfections of this world. Never think of him as a father that is plagued by sin. Don't think of God like your earthly father, because no matter how good of an earthly father you have, well, in some cases, if your father is, strong in the faith and exemplifies God's characteristics well, maybe your father might be similar to God, but many people have fathers who are far from a good example of God. So, recognize that God is more than your earthly father has shown you. He is a perfect father. He loves you perfectly, and he showed that when he gave his son's life to die on the cross for you. Jesus came and he was sent by God the Father, to lay down his life so that we could be forgiven of our sins, we could be purified, and so we could be in the presence of God our Father forever. So don't believe that God is hateful or abusive or neglectful like your human father might be. because he's not.